Halloween Ends. Now, if you guys was upset about Halloween Kills, which is Halloween Kills, which is Halloween Kills, I know a lot of people didn't like Halloween Kills because they said they didn't like Halloween Kills, but when I watched the movie, it's Halloween Kills. It just seemed like that's all he did was go around killing. But this movie picks up 4 years later, and I'll read the plot synopsis and we'll go there. And I think this deserves 60% Rotten Tomatoes. It's sitting at 60%, and this got almost 5 stars, and I would put it there. 4 years after her last encounter with the mass killer Michael Meyers, Laurie Strode is living with her granddaughter and trying to finish her memoir, which she's trying to write a book. And she is Myers hasn't been seen since, and Laurie finally decides to liberate herself from the rage and fear and embrace life. However, when a young man stands accused of murdering a boy he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror. This is pretty interesting. It ignites a cascade of violence and terror that forces Laurie to confront the evil she can't control. Now, when I first watched this movie, I love how they really, I feel, sat down and said, you know what? We got a lot of hits on this Halloween Kills. A lot of people didn't like it. They said it was horrible. I really, really think they did the best they could to wrap this up in conclusion. I really did, because I got up, I fell asleep, and I was gonna watch it. And I was watching something on Netflix, was pretty good, by the way. And I was like, I'll watch Halloween Kills the next day. Well, I had woke up like 3 hours later, and it was like maybe 12:30 because I fell asleep around 7:45, 7:45. And I was like, oh, well, you're sitting up looking up at the ceiling, why don't you? You ain't got work Saturday. So I got on Peacock and I started watching it. Now it opens up, this kid was babysitting this little boy, and this little boy started playing hide and seek. And this town has been haunted by this Michael Meyers. He left a great scar on everybody. Well, that little boy plays a trick on him, and I watched this movie, I'm like, why would somebody live in a house with those type of stairs with a little kid? I mean, this stairwell went up and up and up and up, and I'm like, this is a little kid. Little kids would probably fall down the rail. Sure enough, the parents left, and he's sitting there, and the kid decided to play a trick on him. Well, then he got paranoid because in the back of his mind, Michael Meyers, they don't know if Michael Meyers is dead or he's alive, So when he got locked in, he got paranoid, and when he kicked that door, at the time, he tried to tell the kid to let me out, and he started getting freaking out, and the little kid I think the little kid started yelling after a while, because here's why I think Michael Meyers was in that house, maybe or maybe not. But anyway, the babysitter, young man, his mind was playing tricks on him because he got fearful. When he kicked the door, well, when the parents walked in, the little boy fell all the way down to his death. And then he looked down, and then the parents looked up at him, and they said, what did you do? And then that's how this movie starts off. So they let this young man out because they think apparently they think he killed the kid, but apparently the courts let him out after so many years being locked up. And then the whole town, which is, the town they live in, you know how that town is, Haddonfield. Well, he's living in the same town that Michael did all this stuff. Well, then, of course, he's being picked on. Everybody looks at him as weird. So him and Michael Meyers had this little connection, man, when the movie starts going. So I was like, when I first watched the movie, I was like, man, I hope they ain't going to make him into a newer Michael Meyers. But they didn't, and I was happy about that. So then, you go into you go into Laurie Strode and all that kind of stuff, and the granddaughter and all that, and dealing with the mom's death and everything. And she's just trying to go on with her life and everything. Everything's cool at first until, Laurie Strode's granddaughter got involved with that kid. But then when she, she fell for it. Laurie Strode, like, hey, I feel bad for you because, you probably didn't kill that kid, but everybody was picking on him, and then he had high school kids picking on him. He had people looking at him like he was weird and stuff, and then, but as he got picked on and just looked on, he had these parents that had issues. He had this overbearing mom. He had a dad that was kind of weak, but he had his own shop, and the kid knew how to fix stuff, but he ended up getting beat up by these high school, and they threw him down this this little embankment, and he woke up and he went in this tunnel, and that's when he seen Michael. And I don't know why Michael didn't kill him, but Michael didn't kill him. But Michael was very, very weak. But here's my thing. Michael been living down in that little sewer that long. What was he eating? Rats and stuff to stay alive? But anyway, I was watching that. So, and why he did not kill that boy, I don't know. So then he looked in that young man's eyes, and he could see that he was going to be like him. So that's why I think he let him live. So that's how this movie takes off. Now, let's talk about the kills. If you are into blood, guts, and gore, this movie is for you, because there is no reason why you can complain about, I thought the kills was a little weak. There was some serious kills in this movie. There was some blood and there was some kills. And there was times where they broke away from showing you somebody getting killed. They would show somebody like, in the background going like this, and then like this DJ, he was an asshole. He got his in the end. It showed his, I don't know if it was a secretary or whatever, she was getting killed by Michael Meyers, and then Michael Meyers ended up cutting his tongue off and putting his tongue on the radio, on the album, and he took his head and he just banged him. But the brother turned around and go, "Man, who the fuck are you?" or something like that, and he took that brother's head and smashed it in, cut his tongue, and then everybody's listening to this radio station that kept looping because his head was hitting the turntable as it was going by, and it had his tongue. It was some crazy stuff. But that conflict between him and Laurie Strode was pretty cool, man. I liked it. I liked the ending. The ending was pretty cool. This movie really redeemed itself from Halloween Kills, because my daughter, her boyfriend walked out of the theater. They didn't like it that much. I didn't even ask her if she watched this one, because she said she didn't like that last one so much. I thought she'd probably just give up on it. But anyway, I thought that when they wrote this, I think they really, really did a good job of trying to put some different stuff in there and trying to give you a little different twist and stuff. And at the end, I thought, nah, they're going to pass the baton off to this young kid. They just cannot end this. But they actually did end this. They ended it in a way that I thought was pretty cool. Because you had the big confrontation between Laurie Strode and the young man, which turned bad. And you had the confrontation between Laurie Strode and Michael Meyers. And, the young man ended up killing himself, but he made it look like Laurie Strode killed him because Laurie Strode's granddaughter fell in love with him. So when he stabbed himself in the throat right here, she was like, no, and then her daughter opened up the door and seen Laurie Strode with the knife, and Laurie Strode dropped it, and she goes, "No, I didn't do it," because she didn't do it. He stabbed himself only, but she did shoot him. She did shoot him because he did try to kill her. But then you had the big confrontation between her and Michael, and that was a good confrontation. But this time, man, when she got him, I was sitting there going, okay. She's like, "I'm going to make sure you die this time." And she made sure that he died. And then there was a part where it looks like he was getting ready to take her out. And then the granddaughter decided to come back in the house. And that's when the granddaughter got in on it. And I mean, they put it on Michael Meyers. And so, the end of this, to sum this up, the cops came. Michael Meyers was on the table. And they called all the cops in that whole area and got the town involved, put his body on top of the car, and took him out to where there's this thing that grinds up metal and spits it out. And there was people in the parade of people with this dead body of Michael going out to this place. And it showed people that was in the last movie. It showed the woman that lost her husband. It showed the little boy that he scared the heck out of in that other movie in the Halloween Kills, that they was babysitting the little black kid. The little black kid was funny though. Then Laurie Strode, she made a speech, took his body and dumped it in, and it showed that thing grinding up his bones and flesh. And they did a good job of doing that. And the whole town was there when he did it. So yes, this was a very good send-off to Halloween Ends. So Halloween definitely ends. And I hope they do not make any more. They need to leave this franchise alone. I think this is a good send-off. I really do. Now, I like how they sent that off. They had the whole town involved. They had the cops involved. And the cops was like, yeah, we don't normally do this, but they just wanted to put an end to that. Because Haddonfield had been so, terrorized by this guy that there was people that actually was killing themselves by accident, or they thought they might have heard something. They accidentally was hanging themselves, or he left a mark on Haddonfield. So yes, this is a very good send-off, and I think they did a very good job. And Halloween ends. So there you go. God bless, take care. And I was pleasantly surprised, and I liked the way they told this story. We'll see you.